And we are back on air. This is still Biashara Tuesday on KUTV Rise Today. Now, on Facebook, where we are streaming live on KUTV Kenya, I see a couple of guys there. Let me just appreciate your presence on this show. Kihungi Petro, you're tuned in from Kiambu County. Asante sana for watching the show. Dennis Nginya, Zalego Academy, is at Devon Plaza, 6th floor. You're telling us that awesome talk by the guest from Zalego. He's very knowledgeable. Asante sana. Johnny K. Musioki as well, I can see you on the stream. Bado watu kadhaa pale wako kwa stream. Paul Tester. And you're also saying that the guest from Zalego was actually really articulate for you. Asante sana. I love that you guys are tuning in and sending in your feedback. Remember to continue doing that as we go on with the show. We are now moving on to more conversations that are affecting the youth empowerment. And this is a conversation we're having courtesy of the Ministry of ICT, Innovation and Youth Affairs, State Department for Youth Affairs. I'm holding here a book. I don't know whether you can see it, but it's Kenya Youth Development Policy of 2019, Empowered Youth for Sustainable Development. Remember, sustainable development is a conversation that is happening all across the world, and the youth are at the very center of this. We are trying to get how that is happening, what kind of programs are being done. I'm joined here on set by Miss Emily Maina, who is from that State Department for Youth Affairs. She'll be helping me put this conversation to perspective and also in context of the empowerment of youth in the country. Karibu to the show.
Thank you.
I'm really glad to have you here. Also very happy that the ministry could allow us to have someone to come through to the show. The youth empowerment. What is the direction that the State Department is taking on this?
Thank you very much for having me on the show. Mm-hmm. And I want to indicate that we are very happy that we participated in the career fair. Mm-hmm. And the career fair was an eye-opener for the youth so that they are able to understand about the careers. Mm-hmm. But back to the question, we are the State Department for Youth Affairs, which is within the Ministry of ICT, mm-hmm. Innovation and Youth.
Right.
Looking at our mandate, mm-hmm. Our mandate is principally on youth empowerment. Mm-hmm. And youth empowerment entails empowering the youth through jobs. It can be through talent, and it can be through business. Mm-hmm. And it is out of these that various programs have been put in place to ensure that this empowerment trickles down to the youth. And in terms of the programs that the State Department of Youth has, we have the Kenya Youth Employment Opportunities Program, mm-hmm. which is a World Bank program that is in 22 counties. Mm. This program is for the young people who are not in colleges. It does not take into consideration the education levels that you have. It can be Form 4 and below. Mm. And it gives opportunities for the young people through training, business development, and catalytic opportunities, mm-hmm. that aims at ensuring that if you're a young person, you can undertake the training, mm-hmm. and the recruitment process for this is very transparent. Right. Because what normally happens is that young people there is an advert that is placed in the newspaper. Mm-hmm. They are given a particular time span that they are supposed to apply, and once every filtering is done, it is done through a transparent process.
All right. So I understand you're the director for youth social development.
Yes.
What is your what does your role look like?
You understand very well what is development.
Yeah. For
the young people, they need to be nurtured in leadership and mentorship. And we want these young people to participate in decision making. We want them to be very active on peace activities, civic engagement, fighting against drugs, planting of trees, fighting cultural practices like FGM. Those are some of the activities.
All the social issues.
All the social issues, yes.
All right. As you have mentioned earlier, you have that program that is rolled out across 22 counties so far, as you said.
Yes.
And I understand you've also been, in charge of TVET and that, adoption of TVET across the country, which has come up over the last few years and very well. How do you feel that has imparted in youth empowerment, especially for these youth who maybe could not have made it to the other institutions of higher learning, but now they have access to TVET?
Thank you very much. In terms of empowerment, the TVET institutions give skills. And when it comes to the enrollment in TVET institutions, you find that they do not ask for very high grades. That is one of the things. And once they get into these institutions, they are able to have skills that give employable chances to the young people. Let me give an example. Like if it is hairdressing,
right?
That is a course that they can be able to pick very quickly and they earn money within a short time. If you look at a studio like this one, you can see there are various tasks that have been done to ensure that this studio is operational. Let me give an example. There is a table like this one. There is a seat like the one we are sitting on. There is a paintwork. There is a floor. There is a tiling. There is a roofing. All those are TVET skills that young people are able to get.
Right.
And since the issue of unemployment is major, we have worked with the TVET institutions to ensure that these young people get the skills, and once they get the skills, they are able to determine their future. Yes.
I'm sure you've been able to do assessment as well on the progress that has been done so far. Is it looking positive for us in the future? Especially right now, we really need technical skills from our youth in the country. Are we doing well?
Yes, we are. We are doing well. And one of the indicators is the numbers, the numbers of the TVET institutions that have been established. And it is a projection of the government that there should be a technical institution in each and every constituency. And we have certain constituencies that have more than one.
Wow.
And it's also important to note that for the TVET skills, they are not only given by the colleges. They are vocational centers that are the grassroots. So if you have a young person who may not have gone even to standard 8, they can be able to go to those vocational centers, get the skills that will enable them to work.
Right.
So it is not necessary that you must have a degree,
right?
You have various certificates, but if you have that mastery of the skill, it will help you in your self-determination. Yes.
Now, the biggest issue as well that is facing the youth in the country as in their goal towards empowerment is financing and resource mobilization.
Yes.
Are there efforts that have been done under the State Department to ensure that is well done?
Yes, there has been a concerted effort on the issues of youth empowerment. And I would want to give an example. There are various affirmative funds that are available to the young people. Key among them is Youth Enterprise Development Fund. This is a funding agency that is within the ministry, and it gives opportunities to the young people in terms of loans, in terms of RPO financing. It gives them for business development, and at the same time it gives opportunity for loans for those young people who are traveling abroad. We even have a funding.
Even the ones traveling abroad?
Yes. We have even funding for wanabaharia, those people who are taking up jobs in the seas. Yes.
All right. So I'm holding here
Yes.
the Kenya Youth Development Policy of 2019.
Yes.
Could you maybe give us a brief on what it is about?
This Kenya National Policy was inaugurated in 2019. And there was another policy that had been developed in the year 2009. So it was reviewed so that it could now take consideration of the new issues that have come in. And the policy has given direction in the various areas that affect the youth. If it is the issues of health, if it is the issues of employment, if it is the issues of engagement, if it is issues about partnership, everything is put in this book.
Mm-hmm.
And what it has taken into consideration, it is very clear that you cannot be able to engage young people or even to empower young people on your own. And that is why there are various groupings that have been put in the counties, in the sub-counties, so that the young people can sort of form committees. And those committees, you articulate the issues that help the youth.
Right. And in these spaces where the youth are trying to articulate their issues, we sometimes have a problem of a generational gap.
Yes.
Which we cannot fail to mention. There is the wisdom of the old and the energy of the youth in this country.
Yes.
How is there a way we can bridge that to ensure that even as the youth are being empowered, we're having that dialogue between those two generations, or two separate generations, if I may say that?
Very true. Very true. That is a concern that has been raised even by the young people. But it is very important to understand that even our CS is a young person.
Right.
Joe Moshero is a young person. We have a CAS, the youngest in the cabinet, is also in the age bracket for the youth. And in each and every meeting, or even organization, even recruitment, the youth element is taken into consideration.
Right.
So the issue of intergenerational is well taken care of.
Right, that is well covered.
Yes.
That is something that's well covered there.
Yes.
I can see. So I'm looking over the various headlines here.
Yes.
Of the various topics here: enhancing ICT infrastructure across the country.
Yes.
Radicalization, issues of extremism as well. It's pretty covered across all the
yes.
issues. Yeah.
Yes. It is. It has taken care of each and every interest. And this is why we are saying that the government cannot be able to handle all these issues on their own. And that is why the issue of partnership comes in. So all the bodies that are dealing with youth issues are brought on the table, so that if it is mental health, you get the practitioners in that area so that they can help the youth on the same. And you even bring the young people who are involved or who have been rehabilitated from this vice, so that they can be able to share. If it is something like FGM, female genital mutilation, we have a youth network that are leading this conversation, so that even as you are discussing about FGM, you have survivors themselves who can be able to explain the pain, the atrocities that are visited on them through this practice. And once people or the young people hear from young people like them, they are able to resonate very well. Yes.
Right. And now, as we do that, are there dialogues that are being held across these counties with the youth?
Yes. Dialogues are all over. Like we have conversation that is going on. I have talked about various committees. There are various committees that are headed by county commissioners about FGM, where the youth officers themselves, and other members, like from New Bakumi, you have from gender, they are part of that, so that the conversation is not
just happening in the boardroom.
Yes. They go out there.
Okay. That is a very exciting news to hear, to know that the ministry and also the State Department is taking good care of youth affairs. I don't know whether the upcoming elections and the political temperatures are also, because the youth are very involved, being the biggest number in the country. I know they're pretty involved in the election process, and of course peace is one of those things that we have to preach, and also ensuring that their participation in a democratic process. Are there any efforts around that to ensure that the youth are not radicalized and participating in unruly activities during the elections?
Very true. I need to mention that we have offices in the regions. The former provinces are the ones that we call regions. It's only Rift Valley that has been divided into two
regions.
Yes, that is North Rift and South Rift. We have a regional coordinator in all those areas. We have a county director for youth affairs in all the 47 counties, and we have sub-county officers in the sub-counties. we may have some sub-counties that may not have a specific officer, so that you could have an officer having 2 sub-counties. But the peace effort, even rallying the young people to register as voters, has been going on. The conversation is on.
Okay.
Yes.
You have such a robust network that is reaching towards the last of the youth there in the grassroots,
yes,
which is really important.
Yes.
The guests who came off air, they
Yes.
are doing a capacity building and a placement center for youth in the field of ICT.
Yes.
And they said there is, they wanted to know, because you were not here at the time, but they wanted to know whether there is more capacity into empowerment. Is there more that still can be done, or more that is on the way?
There is a lot that can be done because the numbers keep increasing. And as I mentioned, that one of our mandates is on partnership.
Right.
So once we get a like-minded partner, we engage them. Like the contacts that we were able to establish during the career fair, we engage them so that even as they are doing their own activities, we are able to work together. So the opportunities are coming, and we are encouraging young people to partake of them.
All right. Are there resources, and where how can they reach out to the State Department? Because it's very difficult to get to the higher ranks of government. Getting access.
No.
It's not difficult.
It is not difficult at all. It is not difficult because I have said we have a presence in the regional offices, we have the counties, and we have the sub-county. And we have also said that our youth officers are working very closely with the administration. Right at the lowest level. If it is our offices in the headquarters, we are at Kencom House, 3rd floor. It is an open door policy, so we cannot say there is any hindrance to access.
Right. And now you are seeking to coordinate youth programs that are going to address empowerment, providing holistic participation of the youth, and that's really encouraging. Is there anything that is coming up in the future from the State Department?
We have Fuka na Afya program. This is health related. It is currently in 3 counties. We have Mombasa County, we have Nairobi and Kisumu. This is mainly about health issues. We need young people to be sensitized on sexual issues, the issues of sports, and the uptake of skills in TVET. And an atmosphere where we can have peer-to-peer review on health issues. So that is an upcoming program, and we are very enthusiastic about it. We have the KO program, which I mentioned, which was supposed to come to an end in December, but it has been upscaled to this year.
Right.
And we are going to explore further. More importantly, we previously had only one directorate. Now we have 4 directorates. And these 4 directorates is a way of trying to show that we are raring to go. So that we are able to deal with policy, research, and mainstreaming, to ensure that policy and research issues are mainstreamed. If it is the youth social development issues, we work with various partners to ensure that the social issues that affect the youth, especially character development, especially health issues, taking care of the environment, fighting culture, that is also taken into consideration. The issue of talent development, innovation and talent. We want the talents amongst the young people nurtured so that they can be able to self-determine. And this is a good indicator. Then we also have this entrepreneurship and skills development. So we are taking this one very, very seriously, because the population of the young people is big.
Right, true.
Yes.
All right. So that's a very wide field of issues that the State Department is dealing with. All the youth affairs, from character development to unemployment, to skills training, to radicalization issues. Even for those ones who are abroad, you don't spare them, because they are also Kenyans.
Yes.
You just don't leave the country and be left to your own devices. The ministry and the State Department is taking care of you in that regard. Thank you very much for having that conversation with us. And we are glad that we know there's a robust network that is running, there's running from all the way from the offices to the grassroots, to the constituency. As you said, every constituency is going to or already has that help or support that they can reach out to. Is there last words that you can say to the youth, especially around this time, even towards the election period, and in a time where some of them as well are grappling with unemployment issues?
Now, to our youth, I would want to tell them there is hope. The elections are coming. We hope they will register in bigger numbers if another opportunity comes in. And they can be able to determine their future by making that decision to make the right choice. Take up the opportunities that are there. The funding is there. The careers are open to you. And we as officers are ready to help you when you need us. Make use of the empowerment centers that are within the regions, so that which are safe spaces for the young people.
All right. Thank you very much. That is Emily, who is the Director, Youth Social Development, State Department for Youth Affairs, Ministry of ICT. I'm looking at your resume or your long career, and I see you have been very much involved in matters of the youth. What will say is your passion for the youth? Where did it come from?
I need to mention that when I was joining university, I had thought of joining Raw. I missed one point.
Okay.
And the next option was education. So once you become a teacher, you interact with youth. So I embraced the young people for the period that I taught. Then I joined the Ministry of Youth Affairs then. Then I went to education, which is still doing with the skills for the youth. And now I'm back to the youth.
They say that youth are very difficult. Are we? Are we that difficult to work with?
They are difficult, but being mothers and being officers, we have already dealt with young people in our own homes, in our everyday interactions, and we are able to circumvent and find a way of working with them.
Right.
And it is working.
And it is working. And as you can see, the minister or the cabinet secretary for that ministry is a youth. So it's good. Our mothers really did a good work.
Yes.
Definitely. And, definitely make sure that you are checking out all the help that you can get. As she said, there is robust network or robust help, support that you can get all the way to the grassroots level, regardless of where you're watching us this morning from. Youth should not be the beneficiaries of national development, really. They should be the partners or the ones steering that national development agenda. So ensure that you're getting all the resources required and checking out the ministry and the State Department for youth affairs. A lot of financing happening, resource mobilization, and also information that you can receive for betterment of yourself and empowerment towards sustainable goals. Is there something they can say about the Career Week, since you said you have been a participant there as well? Anything of impact that you saw there or that you did?
It was a very important opportunity because most of the young people were able to come and interact. They were able to know the funding, the affirmative funds that are there. They were able to know about the programs that are there. They asked a lot about the NYC elections that are upcoming, and we are able to answer. Then, of course, they were able to understand the various opportunities that are there as per the event.
Okay.
Yes.
That is good. I'm getting a question here as we try and wind up as well. Ojwang Mariam anasema, sijasikia Richard Okenya, sijasikia ukiuliza vile nitapata funding kama mwanahabari kama mwanahabari from a different county, but I share the same dreams and vision. So I'm guessing he's asking about funding opportunities. How can they get access to the resources or to the offices that are relevant in terms of funding?
I can actually say that they can be able to reach out to the youth officer or the youth fund officer in their counties. And this is where they will be able to get all the opportunities they are looking for. Besides that, we have the website. We have the website for Youth Fund. They can be able to log in there and get the products that are there and the way they can be able to get them.
All right, Ojang Mariam, check out for your youth officer and also the website for the youth fund. Utapata kakitu pale za wanabaharia. I'll really love to know what that is. Thank you very much for having the conversation with me. Say hi to CS Musheru for me once you bump into him as well. Thank you guys for who are tuning in currently. I'm seeing you're here on the stream KUTV Kenya, where we are live on Facebook and also all of our social media platforms. Hashtag Rise Today, hashtag KUTV, hashtag Biashara Tuesday. I'm just seeing a comment from Noni Soni saying, hello KUTV Kenya, Dagoretti is watching. I'm loving the conversation that is concerning us, the youth. You know how we do it here, Biashara Tuesday, all matters of the youth and empowerment. Let me take a break and then come back with much more. We still have much more coming up all the way to 10 in the morning, so don't move so far. You will miss out on the opportunities. Stay tuned.